Hello and welcome to the video. This is Matthew and we are going to be looking at question 14 from the City Examinations Commission sample exam paper for the junior cycle. So this is a question on trigonometry. There is a lot of steps to it, so it can be very easy to make a mistake. It's probably one of the more difficult questions on the paper, but if you know what you're at and you know how Pythagoras Theorem works, then you shouldn't have too many issues with it. So let's start. So we're given a diagram and the length of each side is given in terms of x, and we're asked to show that there is only one value for x for which the triangle is right angled. And Pythagoras' theorem says that the hypotenuse squared is equal to both the other sides squared added together. So in other words, the hypotenuse squared is equal to the opposite squared plus the adjacent squared. So we're going to label the sides now. So the side across from the 90 degrees, or the longest side, will always be the hypotenuse, which is h. So that means x plus 4 is h. And it doesn't really make a difference here which side is O and which is A. It's all the same really. So we're going to say that the opposite is x minus 5, and then the adjacent is x minus 4. But it makes no difference if you have x minus 5 as the adjacent and x minus 4 as the opposite. So now let's use Pythagoras' theorem here to show that there's only one value of x for which the triangle is right angled. And again, we can use Pythagoras' theorem as that can only be used for right angled triangles, and we want to show that there's only one value of x for which it's right angled. So we're saying that x plus 4 squared is equal to x minus 5 squared plus x minus 4 squared. Now we can use this the quick way, and the quick way is, if we have a plus b squared, the answer will be a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. That's a little trick that I like to use, but I'll just write it out the longer way here just so that it makes complete sense. So x plus 4 squared is just x plus 4 by x plus 4 equal to x minus 5 by x minus 5 plus x minus 4 times by x minus 4. So x plus 4 by x plus 4, so that's x by x is x squared, x by 4 is 4x, 4 by x is also 4x, then 4 by 4 is 16. And then x minus 5 by x minus 5, so x by x is also x squared, x by minus 5 is minus 5x, minus 5 by x is also minus 5x, and then minus 5 by minus 5 is plus 25. So be careful there, it's a double negative, it's a negative by a negative, so the answer will be positive. Then x minus 4 by x minus 4, so x by x is again x squared, x by minus 4 is minus 4x, minus 4 by x is minus 4x as well, then minus 4 by minus 4 is plus 16. So now we can clean this up on the left side and the right hand side. So the x squared will just stay as x squared. We have two numbers with just the variable x, so 4x and 4x, so that's going to give us 8x, and the 16 will just stay as 16. Then on the right hand side, so we have x squared plus x squared, so that's going to be 2x squared, minus 5x, minus 5x, minus 4x, minus 4x, so that's going to be minus 18x. Then we have plus 25 plus 16, which will give us plus 41. So now we can move all of the numbers over to the one side and have it equal to 0, and then we can do factorization and solve to get a value of x, or two values of x, and possibly there should only be one of those that is a valid answer. So we're going to move everything over to the right hand side. So then we'll get 0 is equal to, so 2x squared minus x squared minus 18x minus 8x, 41 minus 16. So that will give us 0 is equal to x squared minus 26x plus 25. So now we can use the guide number method to solve this, as it's a quadratic trinomial. So we're going to do the coefficient of the x squared, which is just 1, times by the constant, which is 25. That will give us obviously 25. So now to work out the factor pairs is 25. So we have 1 by 25 and then 5 by 5. So which of these will give us, or could give us, minus 26? Obviously it's the top one there, 1 by 25. So we can rewrite that equation as x squared minus 25x minus 1x plus 25 is equal to 0, and then we can move the 0 to the right hand side. It makes no difference which side the 0 is on, the left or the right, but then we'll be able to factorize by grouping. So our first group will be x squared minus 25x, and our second group will be minus 1x plus 25. So now we're going to do some factorization, as I said. So we have to get the highest common factor of the yellow bit there, the x squared minus 25, which is just x, so it's x outside of x minus 25. And then the highest common factor of the purple bit there is just actually minus 1, or 1 I should say, but then we're going to be minus 1. That'll be outside of, so minus 1 by x minus 25. As always, you should have the same number, or the same expression in both the brackets here, so x minus 25 and x minus 25. When doing factorizing by grouping, if you have a different number in both of those brackets, then that means that your answer is wrong, essentially. So you do have to have the same number, or the same expression in both of those brackets. So because we do have the same number in both of the brackets, we're actually able to rewrite this equation as x minus 1 times by x minus 25 is equal to 0. In other words, x minus 1 is equal to 0 and x minus 25 is equal to 0, which will give us x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 25. So we've gotten two values of x, 1 and 25. So now we have to make sure that both of those values work. So we'll just take the side x minus 4, and we'll make sure that we get a valid answer for it. So if we say that at x equal to 1, then so x minus 4, so that'll go to, so if x is 1, then we'll get 1 minus 4, which is equal to minus 3. And we can't get a slide with a negative answer. So that means, first of all, we have to rule out x is equal to 1, as the x can't be 1 if we're getting sides that have a negative answer, as, 1 minus 4 is obviously minus 3 as we got. So that means that x cannot be equal to minus 1. So we'll try at x equal to 25. So that's 25 minus 4, which is equal to 21, which is a valid side length. And we can check that as well for x minus 5, and it will work for that. 25 minus 5 will be 20, which means we do have a valid side length for all sides. And obviously 25 plus 4 is 29. So that means we get a valid side for all values of x is equal to 25. So that means x is equal to 25. So you can put a box around that, or just make sure you show the examiner that x is equal to 25 and not 1. Okay, you have to make it very clear that x isn't 1, as we get an invalid side length of minus 3. And actually, if you put x is equal to 1 into x minus 5, then we'll get minus 4 as well. So we get 2 invalid side lengths, which we can't have. So that means x has to be equal to 25. So as I said, there's a lot of steps and can be easy to make a mistake when expanding out the brackets, but if you're familiar with Pythagoras Theorem and factorizing by grouping, then you should be able to get down to the last few steps. And then there's the last step of knowing that you can't have x is equal to 1, as then you'll get invalid side lengths. That's, probably the most tricky bit. So once you get past that, then if you know that, then you shouldn't have too many problems. So always make sure that the x value you get will always fit whatever the question says. And obviously in this case, x cannot be equal to 1. So that's our answer for question 14. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I helped.